Okay, so I'm making turn signals for the Samurai, or new ones at least, because my old ones are kind of junk. So this is just a piece of flat strap with some 3/4 inch holes drilled in it, and then it's got some 3/4 inch lights pressed into it. The grommets are actually 3/4 and the lights are a little bit bigger, but yeah. And then I think I'll splice all these together or something and connect it to the factory switch. So that'll be kind of nice. I'm gonna have one or two of them as my running light, and then the other 2 or 3 as my turn signal. This is the other plate. I just gotta drill the hole out to 3/4, and then I'll press in the other ones. So they kind of wobble around in there, so I might put some silicone or something in there to kind of hold them in place, but should be kind of nice once it's done. I'm gonna just weld them to my front bumper, these plates here, so see how it looks when it's done. Okay, so here's the front bumper. Just pulled it off the Samurai. I'm gonna grind down these plates and the bumper, and I think I'm gonna weld them on somewhere like that, maybe down here. I don't know. I'll have to grind it down and then put it back on and kind of see how I like it and whatever. But once that's done, I'll paint it, and then I'll put a little bit of silicone or RTV or something in that little groove on the grommet to kind of hold it in place, and then I'll do the same thing with the light here. I don't really know how I'm gonna run all these together yet. I think what I'll do is I'll run all 4 of the whatever. I'll run them all into one, like all the grounds into one thicker cable or whatever, and hook it into the factory connector. And I might do the same thing with the positive, except for maybe like 1 or 2, because 2 or 3 of these are going to be my turn signal, and then the other 2 are going to be my running lights, so it'll replace the stuff in here. So I don't really know how I'm going to do that yet. The factory connector, I think, has 3 wires hooked to it or something. This side got ripped off, but oh, it's only got 2. So yeah, I'll just have to run them into thicker gauge wire or something, and then hook it into the connector or something then. So yeah, I'll grind that down, weld those on, and yeah. Okay, I grinded the plates, grinded the bumper, so now all I gotta do is mount the bumper to the Samurai and then see what this looks like. They could be cleaned up a bit more, but you know, this is basically free. These lights were $10. It's, you know, just cheap, so it's fine. Plus it's already kind of smashed and everything a little bit, so it's not super pretty or anything, and this isn't a show build, so so I'm an idiot and didn't realize there was a ground wire that connected to the tub when I was taking this housing thing off. So this should be a little bit easier wiring wise. The 4 lights all together, I think, pretty sure each light draws 0.04 of an amp. So 4 of these together would be 0.16 of an amp, and then all 8 be 0.32, and I could be wrong, that might be 0.4 of an amp, but I saw a video on YouTube put out by Lowbuck Garage, and I'm pretty sure these were drawing 0.04 of an amp. So I think the wiring and fuses and all that can handle it. So yeah, should be pretty cool when it's done. So I got one of them held down there with a magnet. It does look better, but I don't know. I just feel like the wires might get ripped up or ripped out by rocks and weeds or something. But maybe they wouldn't, because I would just kind of tuck them up in between this bumper and this cross member and run them across to that thingy over there, the little metal tab thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, if I do mount them down here though, I'm gonna have to push them back a little bit, because I use this bumper to kind of push, you know, four-wheelers and stuff around and crap like that. And yeah, maybe something like that. Wires are kind of high up. I could just run them over, and then back there they're just protected by the bumper. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. One of them's welded on. I ran out of welding wire for the second one, so need to get some welding wire. And then I found this 16 gauge wire here, and I found some for the negative. My plan is to run 2 running lights and 2 turn signal lights. So I'm gonna just splice these 2 into the red one, hook it into the factory connector, and then I'm gonna splice these 2 into that black one, but I'm gonna run it to the body for the ground wire, and then these 2 here will get spliced and run into the other part of the factory connector. So I should have 2 running lights and 2 turn signal lights. Got 2 of the lights wired in. They're gonna be my running lights. I used the factory plug for the positive, and then I just got a new thing for the ground. But the way I did it is I ran 2 of the ground wires. Like, there's 1 wire for each light, so I ran those both into 1 thicker ground wire, grounded it out, and then I did the same thing for the positive. And I just plugged it in. The plug's not in it right now because I got to put the connector thingy in it, back in it, in the plastic part. And then it'll look better. Here's how the running lights look so far. They're way brighter off camera, so. Okay, so all the lights and everything are wired up. This right turn signal isn't really working unless you pull the emergency flashers or whatever, but I think it's because my rear right turn signal, the bulb I think went out, so I'll have to screw with that one, but everything else works great. So it's pretty easy to do, and it took a while, but that's just mainly because I had to make the mounts and everything, and then wiring took, I don't know, an hour max for both of them. So yeah, it's pretty easy. I'm gonna try to clear this up to kind of explain how I did it. So it's kind of a mess down there. I took 2 lights, the positive wires from two lights, the 2 yellow ones there, spliced them into a red wire, ran it into a connector. Then I did the same thing for the other 2 lights to get my running lights. And then for the ground wire, I've actually got 2 ground wires. I took both the grounds, spliced them together, put it through a thicker wire like I did with the positive, and I crimped a connector onto there, tightened it down, and then I basically did the same thing for the other 2 ground wires. So there's 4 wires total. I I spliced 2 together, another 2 together, and then I just crimped the connector onto it, and then I just tighten it down. So it should kind of clear things up.